You see, hello friends. Uh, as we have discussed it in last video, again we are coming up with the same with an example of it. This is like under text to column option. You see, if you watch this data set closely, you'll find that there are I actually don't know what type of data is it, but you see this is one name, and then with semicolon you are putting up another name here. Okay, so let's say what I want is like I need to create. Let's say let me give you a situation first. Let me create email IDs. Let's say they are the new employees who are joining in. Okay, I have to create email address for all my new staff members who are joining our organization today. Okay, so let's say our organization is at the rate abc.co.in. Okay, that function isn't valid. We are not using a function. Let me put it this thing into inverted commas because text is a problem. Charlie. Now you see, this is what we want. At the rate abc.co.in is our email ID, which we need to create for every staff of ours. Okay, so here you do have so many spaces in between. So let's first process the data so that we are able to bring in something for their particular name. Let me give them some registration number also. Let's say insert and let's bring in some employee ID. You see, system helps you great. This Excel is a very good tool. Okay, so let's start something between we need to bring in one number randomly. Rand between, I'm applying rand between function so that I should not bring in something. Let's say we have already 10,000 employees in past and we have reached to 11,000, somewhere in between we got this number. Okay, I'm going to save it, pay special with value. Okay, it is actually a value. I'm changing it from a formula to a number. Earlier it was a formula, now it is actually a number. Okay, now let me, if first fellow is joining at 10697, second fellow will be joining at 10698. Okay, this is how sequence is to be there. Now I have to just select and double click. You see, system will help you to generate all the data sets. All are unique, non-repetitive number. Okay, so it will happen till last. Control shift down arrow is what you need to do. Last name is Gig Young, Brian Ba. Employee ID is 10838. Okay, so all these are different numbers altogether. What is this? This is employee ID. We are supposed to create an email address for all of them. But you see here in this again you have multiple names. So let me first bring in something unique. Uh, let's try another function called as left. Okay, in Excel you do have a left function also. Left function will pick up some of the characters from the left. Let's say there is a constraint, we need to bring these email IDs of standard length. Okay, the standard length means let's say we will bring in total, let's say first five characters only, first five characters of your name, first five characters of your name. Okay, so for first five, you see here, I don't know what are these first five. There is a problem again. There is a problem in five because if space will come in, and in Gmail you see usually space is not allowed. Let's say we'll go with only first four characters, but I can see here boy is mentioned. Boy is only having three, fourth one is space, so is a problem. Okay, so this is going to be a technical issue. No issues. So what we'll do is like we'll from last, if we pick four, last. So if I'm supposed to pick it from the last, so I have to apply right function. Let's try it equals to RIGHT bracket start. This is your text which you are going to give. You see I've given cell reference of B3. B3 means this is the cell where you have the name mentioned. Okay, in this cell, I don't want the complete name. I just need the last four characters from right side. Okay, let me make it 5. Then we'll see what type of output is coming in. You see, this is, I asked for 5. When I'm clicking it, it is coming Uzo. You see, Uzo means what? UZZO. These are how many characters? These are 4 characters. I was searching for 5. Can you see here? Can you see one? Here, after O, there is one space. Let me clear it. Now you see, I press enter. Now you're getting Ruzo. Okay, so this is why it is very important to watch your data set closely. So now you are getting it correct. Let me do it, double click for the entire data set. Again, bug means there must be a space in the last. When you remove it and you do it like this, things will be sorted up. Chaliye, that means we need to do lots of function before this. Let me bring in couple of more options. First, let me do trim function. Okay, what I'm doing is like I'm doing trim function so that unnecessary spaces that we have in our data set should be cleaned up. Equals to trim space, select the cell where you have your information. That's all. Enter. Now you see I'm just cleaning my data. Double click. Okay. Now when you go to the last, it is actually you. What is this? Uh, this is actually a formula. Trim. The execution of this will give you an output. This output is actually a formula. When I'm clicking it here, you can see it here at the top equals to trim B3. But I tell you one thing. After applying this function, you'll get a better output than what it was earlier happening. And in every cell there was some space, and then you have to clean it up separately. Is what was your mess, and you resolved it one by one. Okay. Now this data set is not okay, but what we have created is a better one. I'm doing control, uh, means I have selected the data. I did simply copy, and again I'm going to come back with paste special, and I'm going to go with values, and then I say okay. Okay, now you see I show you the difference. I show you the difference. Let me put in one function here equals to len. Len is giving you total number of characters that you have. I'm taking this first name. How many characters you can see? 30. Means A is 1, L is 2, A is 3, N is 4, space is 5, A is again 6, I or L is 7, D is 8, A is 9, semicolon is 10, space is 11. Likewise, you have 30 characters. Let me bring in again same function equals to len bracket start, select this cell, enter. Can you see 29 and 30? The difference. Same is applicable in all the cases. We'll try to see it. Let me do double click. Data set is huge, and in Excel it is great actually. You do it for one and then you can replicate it for all. I'm again inserting it one more row. Let me bring in these two rows very close to each other. You'll see where do you have a problem. This is len first name. Here it is length second name. Okay. So let me try it here equals to len bracket start. I'm selecting the first name, enter. Here I'm doing it equals to len bracket start, second name, enter 29. You see, very easy till now. Now you double click it here. Similarly, you double click it here. Can you see the difference? Here you have two extra spaces. Here, two extra spaces. You can very easily map. Let me bring in one more column here. Insert. Now, can I see the difference? D-I-F-F-E-R-E-N-C. Difference. Nothing. It is nothing but equals to, let me see how many times name has been written correctly. First cell minus second cell. So one space extra which is unwanted. You can see almost in every name you have two spaces. So you need to clean it up so it is better. Now I've given you a justification. This justification is just to tell you ki, like the first name which was like we got from uh, source of net has certain spaces in it which we don't want. Hence we removed it, bringing in this function called as trim. Okay, so we started with trim, we cleaned the data, we show you the variation. These are validation checks. Okay, let me put in something as gray. These are validation checks. Thereafter, what we did is like we put in this formula called as write. Formula was given write B3 5, and when you do double click, you got it right for everyone. B3 5. Just a minute. You should get this thing right. Let me apply it once again. Equals to RIGHT. I need 5 characters. Huh? So I'll pick this, comma. I'm going to take 5 characters. Same formula is again double click. Now you see you'll get almost 5 names everywhere, 5 characters everywhere. But still there is a problem. You see, problem is like here I can see you are picking up 5, but problem is enos. Here you see Berkeley space and NOS. So the space is also counted as one. Hence there is a space in between. Okay. So let me assume it that you people understand the given problem and you know that there is no spaces which can be allowed in an email ID. Hence we are going to exclude these cases. Okay. Here also I'll run one more processing, which is like where I'll say, again, trim my data. I'm going to come with only 5 characters, in which if space is there, I'll keep it 4 only. So again, I'm going to do trim once again, equals to trim. I'm going to remove this particular thing. So here there is no space, so it's good. You see when I'm doing it, can you see this data and this data? Anos, before Anos, you have a space here. There is no space. Actually, in email ID, we don't have any space. Hence, I have to do like this. Now, it is a very standardized data for entire data set of how many people? Let me go down. It is total 142 people coming up. Okay. So, there are 142 new joinees who are there in our data for whom we are supposed to create an email ID. Now, for creating an email ID with this thing, what we need is like we have something called as concatenate. Okay. Concatenate function. So I'm going to apply concatenate. You see, I've just write CUN and then entire name is this formula is coming in. I've gone with tab. Then you see there is text 1 and then system is asking for text 2 likewise. Yani this will bring every information in one cell. So you see, I am going to put my first this like last 5 characters. Then I am going to put in a full stop. For putting full stop in between, what you have to do, use inverted comma, full stop, close inverted comma, then again comma. Then what you need is like, let's say I want the biometric ID of that person or the employee ID of that person to come in, and then I'm going to put in one more thing, comma. What is important? You see, I'm going to bring in inverted comma, and in inverted comma, I'm going to put in @abc.co.in. You see, I'm closing it with inverted comma. You see, in Excel, you need to understand one thing, that Excel don't understand text. So whenever you need to insert text in anywhere in your system using a formula, you need to bring in this text into inverted commas. Okay. Now I'm just closing up my bracket and I'm pressing enter. Can you see this? Ruzo.10697 at the rate gmail at the rate abc.co.in. This email ID is created. Once I do it, double click, you see, you'll get it for everyone. Again, one more challenge which I am able to see. You see, in the email ID, you cannot see capital letters. Okay. So again, let's say this is not the right data set, which needs to be sent to HR department for activation, because it will create something later. Usually it will be assumed. So what we are going to use here is one function called as lower. Okay. So we are going to apply this function called as lower. So let me apply this LOWER tab, this, enter. You see, every character in this is now in lowercase. Let me do it, double click. Can you see W, which is in capital letter here, but now the W is in small letter? Huh? And can you see any space in between? No, because we have eliminated that thing by here you can see something. Hey, you see here you can see something. But if I am trying to remove this space like this, it is not going to happen. Why? Because this is actually a formula. When I'm clicking on this, go to the top. What is this? This is actually a formula. Okay, escape. Let me go to this cell. What is this? Again, it is a formula. Huh? So when you are working in a formula, there is a problem. What you need to do is like, before you do something, again, let me copy this. Control C. I'm using Control Shift down arrow to go and select the data in fast forward manner. Now this is formula, so I need to bring it into text. Go to paste special, values, and then you say OK. When you do it like this, now it is actually a text. Okay, this is actually a text, no more a formula. Escape. You see, when I click it here, this is a formula. When I click it here, escape. When I click it here, you see this is something written in a text. So when you go by text, now you can search escape. Whenever you commit an error and you are not able to come out of it, use escape key. Okay. So now let me see that data set once again. This is the data set where I found FJR. Let me put in underscore, because now it makes a meaningful data set. So there is no space here also. You see, there is something, a space which usually we don't want in an email ID. So I hope you're getting my message, what I'm trying to put in here. So I'm just trying to do a demonstration and I'm getting certain challenges. This is a formula. Let me write, this is a formula. This formula is converted into text, plain text. Okay. So this is also very important. How you do? Simply copy, paste special, values. You can also, you see one more thing. Can you do cut and paste special? No, it is not allowed. So the only thing that you can do is like you can do copy and paste special. You will not be able to get this option of paste special with cut. Okay, so this is lower. Let's say I would like to see everything in capital letter. So we'll be applying this function called as upper. So in upper, what you have to do is like you have to bring everything in capital letters. Let me put in, and you see, doing it for 150 people or 1000 people or 1 lakh people is like it will be time consuming if you have to do it one by one. So in Excel, it is great. It will help you to do it very fast. Let me put in here the first formula equals to upper bracket, give this text, enter. You see, wherever you have some alphabets mentioned, they all have gone into uppercase in capital letter. Okay, so similarly you have upper, lower. What functions we have done? We have done concatenate, we have done trim, we have done let. Okay, so these are some of the functions that we can see in first round. Let's see again, we'll make a second video where we'll try to cover the other remaining text functions.